Hello everyone and welcome to our Gainful series Banking Awareness September 2018. I hope you have gone through the yesterday's video. You have just taken note of my suggestion that you are supposed to finish all the material which is there in the drive, or from even if you are preparing at this time from different sources, does not matter. But what is more important is, let's say if you finished your August current affair and in your banking awareness, then it is very important for you to go on various portal which gives you daily quizzes and weekly quizzes, monthly quizzes. Go finish them. It's very easy to get deceived that you when the notes are there in front of you. Once the notes gets closed, then you start having confusion in similar day, whether it was 28th March or it was 27th March, whether it was Tripura or was it Manipur. That happens only when the notes are closed. So quizzes can help you recall is very important. So do enough practice so that when you reach the examination, all the recall happens instantaneously. Okay, you do not have to strain your mind there and feel frustrated, because that will again have an effect even on the other sections, right? So read a lot and then also practice a lot. These last 5-6 days that you have in your hand, do a lot of practice, so that all those silly things that you are forgetting, or some numbers, whether it was 375 million for say Madhya Pradesh or it was for West Bengal, and all that thing should be there. It should be done away with. In examination hall, these confusions should not arise, and that will happen only when you take sufficient amount of quizzes. Okay, so read, finish a month, take some quizzes on it, yeah, from different portals. You might also encounter a couple of new questions. Don't worry about it, that will happen in examination also. Yeah, as long as you're doing all the questions which you had come across, you're making some intelligent guesses, that's fine. Okay, but take quizzes. I cannot overemphasize it any further. Let's get started with our session. Yeah. Okay, here are your answers. It was the Airtel Payment Bank, which is talking about, there is no need of any physical debit card. You can still withdraw from the ATM. So they'll definitely be working on it. RBI withdrew permission of Bandhan Bank to open new branches. I told you these bank was in only for good reasons they were in news, right? Then what happened to them? So again, there is they have not done any hanky panky of income classification, etc. The problem is their owners have more than certain percentage of share that which the publicly traded say entities are not allowed to. So the owners are, I think, getting a little greedy here. They don't want to part away with share. That's what RBI has asked them to dilute their shares, so that it comes within the norm. Post the announcement of merger of Bank of Baroda, Vijaya Bank and Dena Bank. So just remember this: Baroda, Vijaya and Dena, they are getting merged. Fitch, rating ranked BOB's viabilities to rating to watch negative. So what has happened here? Though it is becoming a behemoth, it would become the second largest PSU, but it will come with its own problem, right? And the other two banks, they were really not doing so great. A lot of NPAs will come, lot of branches, again management, lot of problem will be there before it stabilizes, and hence that degraded rating. Canara Bank opened a portal to claim education loan interest subsidy for the financial year 17-18. Okay, Corporation Bank inked a pact on information utility. You just know this. I think I have discussed in my previous videos in detail what information utility is and why it is important, with National E-Governance Service Limited. Okay, let's try these. Okay, here are your answers. Federal Bank entered MOU with Info Park Kakanad for leasing 12,000 square feet space in their campus. ICICI Bank tied up with Make My Trip to launch a range of co-branded credit cards. Okay, let's see. How many people are the ready takers? Why just ICICI credit card was not sufficient. Indian Overseas Bank got RBI's approval for call options on bond totaling 655 crores. So okay, again, read something about this call option bonds. What are they? So these guys, when they give out loan, there is certain interest rate. Maybe they had issued the bond where interest rate was 8, but if the entire economy the interest rate has now gone to 6%. Why would these guys be still paying 8%? So these kind of bond where there is option to for the issuer to take it back and then maybe issue a new bond, at any time they can buy it. So basically what I have done is I have taken your 100 rupees and I have told you every year I will be paying you 8 rupees. So at the end of the year, if the interest rate now warrants that your 100 rupees I should be paying only 6 rupees, then what will happen? I will return your, at the end of the year, or whatever the terms are, I'll return your say 100 rupees to you. I'll say thank you very much. I'll borrow a new 100 rupees where I'll have to pay only 6 rupees interest. Okay, so all that will be, whether even if it was a five-year contract, whatever the terms are, whether you can do it at the end of a year or every 6 months you can do, or there is no limit on that. That's callable bond. Okay, Indian Post Payment Bank signed a 5-year corporate agency agreement with Bajaj Alliance Life Insurance Company BLIC to offer life insurance product to its customers. So Indian Post Payment Bank, I told you, read anything that is there in the news. I hope at least one question should be there. 5-year with Bajaj Alliance. Okay, and you will see they have various alliances. Okay, Bajaj, again, sorry, Indian Post Payment Bank has tied up with financial software and systems for providing banking solution to unorganized sector, especially rural households, small, medium and enterprise, medium enterprise and women. Okay, try these. Okay, here answer. Prime Minister Narendra Modi again launched Indian Post Payment Bank with capital of 14.35 billion at Talkatore Stadium, New Delhi. Okay, that's the capital with which they are starting. Okay, the Reserve Bank of India fined Karur Vyasa Bank for a total of 5 crore for non-compliance of its directive. Again, I told you, please take, this is September, right? So there might be a month where some other banks would also have been fined. Reserve Bank has been very liberal these days in fining people, right? So if you see, this was for the month of September. So you might have various options. Look at what date they are talking about or which month they are referring to. The boards of state-run bank, Bank of Baroda and Vijaya Bank gave their assent to their amalgamation with Dena Bank to form the second largest entity in PSU banking space. Okay, so I think this is already done. Bank of Baroda, Vijaya and Dena Bank. Okay, these formalities, as you would have seen in our previous videos, that Idea Vodafone, it like kind of dragged for 3 months, and how many approvals at how many stages. Punjab National Bank approved a proposal to raise 5,431 crore capital support from the central government through preferential issue of equity shares. Okay, so this is not the loan, this direct buying of the stakes. Okay, Reserve Bank of India approved PayU India to operate its own non-banking financial company. Its payment facility is called LazyPay. So just know about this PayU, yeah, and LazyPay. Witness around 10,000 to 11,000 transactions per day. Okay, try these. Okay, here the Reserve Bank of India announced the purchase of government security GSEC worth 10,000. Again, these depending upon months. So there is some 10,000, there is some 36,000. Plan to inject 10,000 crore liquidity, plan to inject 40,000 crore liquidity. Again, depending upon the month that news is targeted towards, right? It will be done through OMO, open market operation, by auction on Ecobear. That's their platform where all the auctions happen for Reserve Bank of India. RBI in its official note announced the amended Reserve Bank of India note refund rules. Okay, that's what it is called. It directed all branches of banks to exchange mutilated defective notes of various denomination. Reserve Bank of India bought 8.46 tons of gold in financial year 17-18. This is the first purchase in almost 9 years. Okay. So why was there the need to buy it? Because their asset, they have to hold in something whose value is not decreasing. Okay, the Reserve Bank of India directed all scheduled commercial banks with more than 10 branches to appoint an internal ombudsman. Please note, I think this is not applicable for RRBs. That can also be a question. RBI cancelled the license of Rajasthan. This is an important question. I think this is a big thing. Cancelling the license. I think this can appear in your exam. So Bhilwara Mahila Urban Cooperative Bank. Try these. Okay, Here are your answer. Reserve Bank has shortlisted 5 IT firms for implementation of centralized information and management system for data collection. So one place, all the information will be there. That's still not there. That's surprising. Reserve Bank of India enhanced facility to avail liquidity for liquidity coverage ratio. Okay. So just know this FALLCR. So this is facility to avail liquidity. So you can take some money from the RBI or from different sources to cover for your liquidity coverage ratio, which you know it's a requirement for all the banks. Okay, from the existing 11% to 13% of their deposits. Okay, so 2% more they can take. According to the data of Reserve Bank of India, India's external debt for the quarter ended June 2018 declined year-on-year basis by 2.8% to 514.4 billion. Okay, SBI inaugurated its e-facilitation and e-corner facility for Indian Army veterans at the Army complex near Fort Williams in Kolkata. Okay, so that's SBI. Yes Bank announced that it has raised 400 million via syndicated loan facility from its IFSC banking unit in Gujarat International Finance Tech Gift City. I think I've done a lot about Yes Bank, how they were to, you know, in different tranches, how they were supposed to raise that 1 billion. And what exactly is gift, etc. It's all covered in our previous videos, right? Try these. Okay, so Yes Bank had to pay 38 crore in fine to GST department for alleged violations in domestic remittances. Okay, so they have done some hanky-panky thing there. Yes Bank, India's fourth largest private bank, announced its partnership with rupeeboss.com, an online financial service company. Okay. Science Solution and Systems CSS received an order from the Indian Army to supply Spylight Mini, okay, unmanned aerial vehicle system for high altitude aerial surveillance. Okay, so this is a company which makes those, I think, drone kind equipments, right? Maryland-based Lockheed Martin announced that the wings of F-16 Block 70 fighter jet will be produced in India as part of Make in India initiative. So you see, Modi traveling abroad has had some impact here. Defense Acquisition Council approved procurement of 1,000 engines for the fitment of T-72 tanks in the army. Just know about DAC is in news often, so that's Defense Acquisition Council. Okay, try these. Okay, here are your answers. NSE and London Stock Exchange signed a pact on dual listing route for masala bond as well as foreign currency bonds of Indian issuers. So they can, you know, simultaneously put it here. Some of their bonds they can put it on NSE. That's the agreement. They're basically working towards more cooperation between the exchanges. We have, I think, seen other news also regarding such cooperation. BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange, and NSE, National Stock Exchange, have received approval from SEBI, that's Securities and Exchange Board of India, to launch commodity derivative segment from 1st of October. So initially commodity derivatives were not there. Now it will happen. I hope again I have touched upon what derivatives are, etc. in our videos earlier. Asia Index Private Limited launched S&P BSE Private Bank Index to measure the performance of the private bank. So that's Asia Private Index Private Limited. So we have seen various indexes. What are the indexes? Just, you know, a benchmark basis which all the ratings will be, basically the performance of other banks or entities will be compared to. Fitch Ratings in its Global Economic Outlook report increased India's growth forecast for the current fiscal. I don't know what these guys were smoking, from 7.4. Even RBI is not so optimistic about it, which has the first hand data of the economy at any given point in time, and these guys just increase it to 7.8%. Surprising. According to PhD, but this I think is the highest. Yeah, just remember this also. Fitch 7.8. According to PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry Vice President DK Agarwal, India is expected to have 100 billion in FDI flow per annum. I think in yesterday's video we had seen, you know, how it in and around 36, and you know, 36, 37 in last 3 years. What will happen in next 3-4 years that this 36, you know, will become 100? I personally do not know. Maybe these guys have some plan. At least I do not see. It's more like trying to please the government by making such statements. Okay, try these. Okay. ADB, the GDP forecast remains unchanged at 7.3. Yeah, this is in the range of our 7.2, 7.3, 7.4, and 7.6 for 2019. Okay, that's Asian Development Bank. Now, Alibaba shared its consent on central government's mandate for data localization of e-commerce companies because of all the concerns and security concern about the data. I think all the companies were talked to that you have to bring in, you have to store all the Indian data in India only. So Alibaba backed Paytm, I think one of the largest beneficiary of demonetization. They have agreed immediately. Yeah, within 6 months they will do all the localization. The interest rate of, now this will put pressure on the other companies also. If they can do, why not others? The interest rate of small saving bank scheme was increased on third quarter October to 31st. Now it has gone up by 40 basis points. I think it's from 7.6 to 8. I think that is what it has increased, right? The Defense Acquisition Council chaired by Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, also know that DAC is chaired by the Defense Minister directly. Equipment of defense worth 9,100 crore. That's huge. 20 lakh people have joined the modified Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana as on 5th September. So that's again PM Jan Dhan JDY. That's Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. So simple, just I think you should know all these. There are certain terms which you take for granted, and directly in examination when you see, you're like confused. Okay, so this is Cisco CEO Chuck Robbins during his 3-day visit to India signed 2 agreements with state-run telecom from BSNL and Niti Aayog. So what their basic idea is, even to if you know that 100 Atal Tinkering Labs, yeah. So they want to kind of interconnect them through conferences. Cisco, they provide platform for web conferences, etc. So they want, so that these innovation center, which are actually doing really well, they also interchange ideas among themselves. Government decided to contain fiscal deficit to 3.3%. I think one thing where you have to give credit to this government, whatever your reservations may be, these guys are really sticking to the plan. Of course, the election year, it is of course 2019 will be the election year, and there's a lot of pressure on them. Even if you look at the budget, that was not populist. Even the target, they think this is sacrosanct, hitting that 3.3% of GDP, which looks very difficult looking at how the oil prices are raised in between, and our deficit started to grow. So but containing this will be a huge task, and that is why they are asking for, they're really desperate to meet this figure. So it's just not about ruling, they're really concerned about the economy. That part you have to, I am not trying to advocate in any way, but one part, just the economics part of it, I think they are careful about that. That was my message. Nowhere otherwise, you will hear about all these things only on the day of the budget is passed, and then it's 3.3, and the day when the budget is reviewed or the next budget is presented, you will hear it is like suddenly dropped to 3.6. Does not look significant. This is huge. Even 2 points down here, it's a huge impact which economy has to face. And then in turn, every deficit, the twin deficit problem, and all that has serious repercussions on your trade, on your currency, and everything. So if they are careful about it, even in the year where they are likely to run for the election, that's good sign. Yeah. BML Limited launched country's first 205T electric driver rear dump truck model. Okay, that's BML Limited. Okay. Hindustan Shipyard Limited announced that Indian first ocean surveillance and missile tracking ship V1184 will undertake its first sea trial in the first week of October. Okay, so that's ocean surveillance and missile tracking. Okay, so that's from Hindustan Shipyard Limited. Okay, the government doubled the monetary limit of from 10 lakh to 20 lakh for filing loan recovery application in DRT, that's debt recovery tribunals. This is the cases were simply piling up here. Okay, so in and around 10 lakhs, so government thought, okay, let me increase the stakes here. You go on the lower courts, etc. Don't come to the debt recovery tribunal. Give them some say space and bring the cases which are really worth it. Okay, try these. Okay, here are your answers. The Central Board of Direct Taxes releases annual report on additional tax reform MNCs through 219 APAs. Okay, 199 unilateral, 20 bilateral. Financial MNCs have acquired extra income of 10,000 crore, translating to a tax of, this is commonsensical also, in and around on the higher bracket the tax is 30%. So even this question just put to show you try to make some educated guesses also. Okay, that should not harm you. Okay, so if you know 30% tax, 10,000 crore, what it will translate to. And if you have absolutely no idea, you do not want to take it, leave it, no problem. The government increased custom duty on import of 19 certain non-essential items. Okay, so if it is coming, let government make some money on it. Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority raised the minimum insurance cover for the owner driver to 15 lakh for a premium of 750 per annum. Okay, Life Insurance Corporation of India signed an agreement with Central Depository Service India to provide group insurance coverage to all eligible demat account holders. The Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority IDA announced the guideline of sandbox. I think this is also, I have discussed in detail, method to enable testing of new innovative insurance products. So what happens is, this does not affect large number of public. Yeah, so all the tinkering etc that you have to do, all the experiment, basically it's limited to very small set of people. Okay. Okay, here are your answers. HDFC Ergo General Insurance Company announced the launch of E at the rate of Sakura, cyber insurance policy for individuals. ICICI Prudential Life inked a pact with Saraswat Bank, and never heard about it in context of any other news in last 2-3 months. Yeah, just know this also. ICICI Prudential, Saraswat Bank. SEBI to relax foreign fund rules, initiated by a public consultation process for finalizing the new guideline on KYC and beneficial owner identification. You can just see the pressure that these guys have gone through, because you remember the last video we learnt about it touching significant low amount in last decade, right? The all the foreign investment. So they tried to tighten it, and then suddenly the inflow took a hit. Temasek, a Singapore-based global investment firm, has signed an agreement to invest up to $400 million in National Investment and Infrastructure Fund. This is NIF. Many people are interested, and looks like I hope it does not meet the fate like its cousin, which is there in news. I hope they really do, and it's properly managed with an option for co-invest with NIIF in the future. The Asian Development Bank launched its first trade finance scorecard, a new tool to address market and boost trade finance with an objective to prevent money laundering and terrorism. Okay, I really do not have the specifics about it, but yeah, there may be certain parameter when you say certain amount, some fishy amount of trade happening in some sector which is not known to. So basically the Asian Development Bank will have for all the sectors, let's say it's commodity, then how much, if it's oil, then how much is invested in which country. And suddenly you see when for a commodity it's maximum 10%, you see one of the companies investing here as 70-80%, then something is fishy. Okay, but these guys will be also smart. When they know they are being tracked like that, they will also invest with diversity. Not sure how the exact mechanism will be, but yeah, step in the right direction. Okay, try these. Okay, World Bank approved country partnership framework for India to support its transition to higher middle income group by 2030. Under this, 25 to 30 billion US dollar in financial support would be provided. So you see, we take loan left, right, and center because they come in cheap, and then okay, it's for development work. Well, let's pray only that all these are actually used for the development purpose. India and World Bank signed a loan agreement of IBRD credit of 74 million for Uttarakhand workforce development project. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development has approved 65,634.93 crore loans so far to 93 prioritized irrigation project under Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development Bank has sanctioned 335 crores under the Rural Infrastructure Development Fund to West Bengal. Okay, the World Bank has approved financial assistance 929.89 crore for Shimla water supply and sewage project. Okay, so some of the loans and grants. Okay, try these. Okay, the New Development Bank of BRICS announced 525 million loan to Madhya Pradesh for infrastructure project. Asian Development Bank approved 150 million to establish first multi-skill park in Madhya Pradesh to boost the employment in state. So much money going to Madhya Pradesh. Okay, the International Monetary Fund staff and Argentina authorities have reached an agreement on a 36-month standby arrangement totaling 57.1 billion through 2021 approved on June 2020. This is a big news. Asian Development Bank approved financing up to 500 million for the multi-tranche financing facility MFF infrastructure project in at least 10 cities of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so that's Asian Development Bank. Paytm Money has launched its app for mutual fund investment. That's Paytm Money. Okay, let's try these. Okay, NTPC's board has approved an investment of 9,785 crore for 1320 megawatt stage 3 expansion in Talcher plant in Angul district of Odisha. What's more important is this, knowing this Talcher plant, where it is. Yeah, it's in Odisha. 10,000 crore rupees invested. It becomes important. Apsara, you upgraded, reactor. You, I think, stands for upgraded reactor, became operational at Bhava Atomic Research Center at Trombay in Mumbai, Maharashtra. BSC and PTC India Limited and ICICI have come together to form India's third electricity exchange. We already have two. Defense PSU Bharat Electronic Limited for the first time has bagged an order of 9,200 crore for the supply of 7 long-range surface to air missile system. Okay. Minister of Railway and Coal Shri Piyush Goyal has launched his first of its kind rail heritage digitization project of Indian Railways in collaboration with Google Art and Culture. I hope you have checked there. So they kind of put even all the important say picture etc in this. Check Google Art. It's an interesting project. Yeah, try these. Okay, here are your answers. General Insurance Corporation, G stands for General Insurance Corporation. Yeah, that's again doing it reinsurance. That's why you have that RE. A government-owned reinsurance company has secured 10th position among the top 40 global reinsurers as per a recent ranking published by Standard & Poor's. Rating agency ICRA downgraded loan and debentures of infrastructure financing firm Infrastructure Leasing and Financing Services to default risk, and now of course bailed out by the government, or it will be bailed out completely by the government. And this is what I was talking about when I talked about the NIIF might not face a similar fate to its cousin. Asian Development Bank released its 2018 flagship statistic report for Asia and Pacific. That's Asia Development Bank that is what releases it. According to the new report by TransUnil Sibil, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka make up for nearly 40% of all retail loans in country. This is amazing. Just two states, 40% of all retail loans in country. A report of World Bank named a glass half full, with the name of the report itself. The promise of regional trade in South Asia, India trade in goods and with South Asia could be 62 billion. So, and with Pakistan it could be 37 billion. So just by being in war, how much we are losing. I'm really not bothered about problem with Pakistan. Let it be. We don't want this 37 billion. But yeah, with the South Asian countries, I think this is really glass half full. We can definitely and should work towards decreasing the barriers to the trade and ensure how we can capture much of these. Okay, let's try these. The Internet Society partnered with Internet Service Provider Association of India ISPI to promote and secure internet infrastructure. This is really doing well on the sideline of first edition of ITI's 2 days ICT and Internet of Things Startup Tech Expo happening in Bangalore. ITI Limited signed agreement of with the equipment manufacturers and startups. BSNL has inked a pact with Japan SoftBank and NTT Communication to roll out 5G. They lagged in 3G, 4G. They don't want to miss on the 5G, it seems. The Unique Identification Authority of India relaxed Aadhaar enrollment target for the banks and extended up to November 1st, 2018. I think this will be again further relaxed. I did not hear much about this. World Bank, Asian Development Bank team jointly conducted rapid damage assessment and need analysis and estimated this figure is funny, 25050. I don't know how in such a massive flood they could estimate up to the last 50 crores. It looks like someone would have said it is in round about 25,000 crore. It does not look good. They will say we have just approximated. Okay, let's put a 50 in the end. It looks something like that. It's a stupid number, honestly. I would be really interested to know how they came to. When we are talking about 25,000 crore, there you are talking about these 50 crore. Even when the scale of destruction was such massive, I personally feel it will be really difficult to zero down to such number. Okay, leave that aside. For you, your important number is this 25050. Now that I have told you this story, you will not remember that there was a 50 in the end. That's what matters. Okay, so with that we close the September month also. I'll again see you again very soon with the October month also. So please guys, please listen to the advice that I have given you in the beginning of the video. Please read and then take a lot of quizzes. That only that will help you. Okay, thank you very much.